Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. So, we are off again. This time, Sydney and I are headed to Chicago. We're going to do some things and, oh my goodness, just have a good time, right? Create some memories. Let's get away. I am so excited to show you guys all the fun that we had, all the things that we did while we were in Chicago, right? It was just a couple days, but that was just enough time to create some memories with my oldest daughter, right? And just kind of, do some things that I know she would want to do, right? So, as I take you through our little getaway, right, it's going to be, in real time, right? Because I want you to see exactly what we did and when we did it, right? So we hung out in the lounge for a little bit, but I had a taste for a banana nut muffin and they didn't have it in that lounge. So I went to the Admiral's Lounge, right? And they had some there. So, yes, on that, right? So, we were just hanging out and she's so happy. She's so excited. And I feel like she always sits in that spot when we come here to the airport now, right? So, I did fill our water bottles up, right? That I was showing you guys in when we were getting ready. So, yes, on that. And remember, Philadelphia is hosting FIFA. So that was what you were seeing with the soccer ball and all the things. So now it is time, right? It is time for us to get on board and just relax and have a good old flight, right? I was just admiring this big door. Oh my goodness. So we're seated. Wait till I tell you what happened. A couple things happened, right? So we're seated. I wiped everything down. We're all good to go. Chargers is ready. We're backing away from the gate, right? It's time to go. First of all, I was in the wrong row. So we had to move. I got the gate confused with what row I was in. So I was basically like 5 rows back. Then we sat on the runway for about an hour and a half. So I was on the plane for about 2 hours before we actually took off. There was a rain delay in another part of Pennsylvania, somewhere we had to fly through, and we had to sit on the runway. So I get anxious. I can't lie. I was watching Toy Story, right? This was Toy Story 4 I was watching. And yeah, I get anxious, because I know it's a space that I just can't leave from, right? It would be a whole thing. Sydney, on the other hand, always calm, and she actually made me calm, right? So, yes, on that, but we are here. We are here. And I feel like I know this airport like the back of my hand now, right? This is the fourth time that I have been to Chicago, right? Twice with hubby, one time by myself back in, what was that, October? And then now with Sydney. So I just thought it was just, a really cool spot, right? So this go around, I am staying at the London House. So, we didn't do too much of the sightseeing of the hotel, right? Because we were kind of on a time crunch. Like it was things I wanted to do, right? So we got our hotel room and we opted for a suite just so that we would have the room and everything. That's Miss Kara talking in the background. Right? It was really, really nice. Oh my goodness. And Sydney enjoyed the space, right? So, yes, on that is a pull-out couch, right? The bathroom was fire. It was very big, roomy. And then, you're walking into the bedroom, which you can close off if you want. I wanted Sydney to have the option of, sleeping in her own bed, right? Miss Girl, why did she end up sleeping with me both nights, right? So that was cool because it was a king bed. So it was more than fine, right? She had the dolls in the middle of us, right, on their own pillow, the Barbies. So yes, on that. But our view was a fire, you saw, and I just couldn't ask for better accommodations. This is what I wanted for Sydney. So before we headed out, we went downstairs to the lobby. Actually, not the lobby, down, all the way down to the street level, right? Where we first came in, and we're having a little lunch before we head on out because we left that morning and didn't really, rock anything to eat, like real deal Holyfield. You know what I mean? Some yogurt here, banana nut muffin there, Pop Tarts on the plane, right? So, yes, on the Hello Kitty Cafe. This is located, actually connected to my hotel, right? The London house. But I was a week early. It's not open yet. So, we were able to see the outside, but not the inside. So next time. But now we are in a ride and headed to the movies. We're going to see Toy Story 5, right? Before it is like out, right? So I was so excited about it. We had such a good time, and we met up with Lynn from Lynn and Things and her daughter, and we were all rocking our Toy Story shirts, and it was just such a fun time. Sydney enjoyed herself so much, and that's all I wanted. Sydney's my big movie girl, right? So did it bother me that Kara wasn't with us? Yeah, it did a little bit. But Sydney is more of the movie girl, not Kara. So after the movie, we're walking around and they got some things going on, right? So we're just kind of walking, the neighborhood, and they're, dancing and singing. And that is what Sydney loves to do. She is all about it. So 100%, I was going to stay and enjoy the sounds and do all the things, right? So yes on that. And I thought this was so interesting. All these locks, right, on here. And it was just so amazing to see. I've never seen anything like that, right? So now we are kind of in this historic district, right, part of Chicago. And Lynn was kind enough to take us on a tour of this very historic hotel, right? And can't lie, I was like, are we supposed to be in here? Because it was really, I love all things history. It's crazy because as a child, I could care less, but I just love knowing how things happen and why and who was involved and all the things, right? So we're walking around this hotel, and it was pretty cool. So yeah, it was kind of like, should we be in here, right? It was very quiet. I didn't see any people. And then, we want to get in the elevator and go up, right? I was a little hesitant. Miss Girl, that elevator gave me such anxiety because it's old. It's old. So I'm like, what is happening? It was shaking. It was doing all the things, girl. It took everything out of me not to yell, get me out of here. But I was not getting back on. Yes to the steps, right? All the way, all the way down. I don't care what floor I'm on. We are taking the stairs down. So, girl, but made it back down to the bottom, right? Oh my goodness. So, yeah, and look at this. Mark Twain. Do you know how old this book is? Like that, just the fact that I had my hands on it, it was just so like, oh my goodness. Like I can only imagine the things that went on in this hotel. It was a very upscale hotel in that time. So it was just so cool to see, right? To walk around. And this is, where I was on the inside, right? So We walked around and we checked out a couple, stores and things. And I thought these were pretty cool because, I'm now all into the squishies. Right? And they had a store full of all the things, and it was really cool. But we headed on back, right? We stopped at the store, got some popcorn and things, and we're taking it back in and just gonna chill and relax for the night because we've traveled this day, right? So I'm a little tired. Sydney is too. And yeah, so we are going to end this night, right, which was travel day. And the view is just, I can't say enough about it. Phenomenal, right? But now, new day, next day, and I wake up to this. I have the view of Marina City, right? So we're getting it. We're ready to go, right? So remember, I didn't really have a look around the day before because it was kind of get in, get out, do the things, the movies, all of the things. So I said, well, this is my day two. So I have to, take a little bit of a look around and see, right? So I'm back in the lobby area where we checked in, and it's just so beautiful. And I wanted to make sure that, I took some of that in, right? So we're walking down those steps. The restaurant that we had lunch in the day before is right there. So I said, let me go the other way, out this way. This is where the elevators are, and this is also where you have access to the Hello Kitty Cafe. So it's right on that street level, right? And I'm just taking it all in, right? It's such a beautiful hotel, and I really think, and then, further down is a set of double doors, like right when you walk into the building. And, yeah, you have access to the Hello Kitty Cafe, once it's open, right? So we're back on the street and, just wow. It's such a beautiful day, right? Oh my goodness. Yes, on that. So we're going to take a little stroll. Now, I am loving the location of this hotel. The last time I was a little further up. This is very, like, I'm right in the middle. If I want to go left to do some things or right to do some things, it's perfect, right? So we are walking to get breakfast. Now, the last time I was here, I had breakfast at the same spot, but a different location. I didn't even know this existed. And it worked out perfectly, right? So I love this place, right? And, this is where I was the last time, and it was so good. So I'm back here again, and we ate breakfast outside because it was such a beautiful day, right? When we got there, no one was there. When we left, everyone was there. It's such a popular spot, right? So, yes to Millennium Park. This is a given. Every single time I am in Chicago, I have to come here to see the bean. 100%. And it's, again, I am creating memories with Sydney. So she loves looking at herself in the mirror, and now we're in it. We're under it, in it. We're under the bean now, and it's just so cool. She had such a good time. So yes to that memory, right? So now we're just kind of walking around. I was taking the long way, and then we decided to walk down the Riverwalk, right? So now we're directly across the street. This is my view, right? I have never done this. So to do it with my daughter for the first time, was fire. And you know what was pretty cool too? The water was still green from St. Patrick's Day. So, yes, on that. So, we're still walking around and just. Kara singing in the background. We're just, taking in some sights. And again, I can't believe I've never been down here in all the times that I have visited Chicago. And it was just so nice to experience. And it was nice to do it with my daughter, right? So I guess, like seeing things through her eyes a little bit, if that makes any sense, right? So we're still walking around and now we're, back up on street level. We almost got on this bus. I'm big on getting on a bus and touring, right? But the only reason why I didn't is because all the things that I wanted to experience with Sydney was right in the vicinity. So I didn't need to be on a bus. You know what I mean? If I were with hubby doing the history thing and things, it would, because him and I have done that. But it was being with my baby girl, right? Not so baby. She's actually my oldest, but she's still my baby girl. And we stayed here for a little bit because she was just so fascinated by the boats and the people. And she was waving to the people on the boat and they were waving back, which made it even more cool, right? But we went back in, took a little break, got back up and headed to Dollar Tree. Absolutely, right? And then came back and we were a little hungry, so we went to Portillo's, right? I knew I was going to end up here. What I was hoping was that Sydney, because she's my hot dog, hot sausage girl, right? So, but I kind of knew she wouldn't try it. It is not the traditional, there's no ketchup. And, you can if you want, but to be traditional with it, right? To have that type of Chicago hot dog. She wanted a chicken sandwich, which was fine with me. But I had to have this hot dog. I remember when I was there before. Oh, my goodness. I think it was like 4 years ago when I had that hot dog. So, yes, on that. And guess what else I discovered? She likes onion rings. I had no idea. She ate all my onion rings, but that was okay. So I wanted to head into here because I wanted the Starbucks chai tea latte. Girl, that line was around the corner to get in there. So off to the Harry Potter store, right? Sydney is my Harry Potter girl. And we just walked around a little bit in there. Not too, I already toured it the last time I was here, talked about all the things. But it was still really nice to see her reaction to things, right? So yeah, just walked around for a little bit. It was a little busy this weekend. We were there during Juneteenth, and it was just a lot going on, right? So the new Obama Center was opening. So it was just so much happening, right? But I was not leaving here without butterbeer, because Sydney had never tried it before, right? All the letters, right? Oh my goodness. It's just so cool. So yeah, it was such a good day. We did all the things, right? All the things that I wanted to do with Sydney. You know what I mean? And just taking in all the sights and just seeing things through her eyes. And, we went to TJ and, we walked by famous landmarks and we visited historic places. And that's priceless. Like that, it's just so special to me, right? And I don't know. Like, I'm getting emotional now because this is my baby, right? And she sees things differently. But Marina City here now, right? What is it? Like the corncob towers, because of the way it's shaped. I am so fascinated with their place, right? Very futuristic considered, right, back in the day. But we are at the end of the vacation, right? The mommy and me getaway. And I just had such a good time, and I know Sydney did too. So yes, on that, it is travel day again, and She's just packing up all the Barbies and things. And every time we would leave, she would say, bye, Teresa, bye, Nicole, bye, Ken. Oh, my goodness. Everybody. And then when we came back in, it was like, hi, Teresa. Hi, Nicole. It was so funny. Oh, my goodness. But you guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Much more to come, right? Me and the girls and, our adventures and all the things, right? I hope you enjoyed going to Chicago with us, but we are headed home and I'll see you soon. Bye.